Okay, this is what we're going to go ahead and do today. We're going to go ahead and work on this, what I call my high humidity Detolf. And what I plan on doing is focusing on this third shelf. You can see there is a Tequila Sunrise back there. It's got a terrible trellis on it. I'm going to take that out and I'm going to re-trellis that. There's a Verticillata heartleaf splash there. Then up above here, there is a merrillii back there, and there is a hanhiae here. These plants are actually going to be moved out onto these two shelves. Don't mind that sad looking variegated string of hearts that's getting trimmed. But they're going to go out. I moved this Fischkiliana intervariegated out of my Milsbo onto these two stands. You can see the blank space, the empty space in my Milsbo where it was. So I'm making room for more Hoyas. So this is going to get items removed from it to make room for plants from the Milsbo, so that way I can have more room for plants in the Milsbo. So that is the goal for today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get some of these out of the way. Let's gotta be careful. This is, what is this? Is this my Ben Vergari? Is that what this is? I will look it up and I will put it at the bottom of the screen. It is cuttings that are finally starting to grow, and it looks like it is time for a trellis. This is my Sigilatis, which is looking not good, but it does have a new leaf right there. So that is good. It does have a new leaf back there as well. So that's good. This does not look like it's in the best of shape. I'm tugging on it, and these are very firm. So I'm not worried about root rot. I mean, these are very firm when I tug on them. So I'm not worried about root rot, but it is not a happy looking plant, that's for sure. So the Sigilatis, that one is a enigma. This is my elliptica Black Petiole, and since I got it, it has grown these two new leaves right here. It has also grown this new growth right there, this new stem, and there's a root right there. So, and it's grown this leaf, this new leaf right here as well. So it's growing, it's doing very well. And then out, here we go. Looks like we got a nice new stem on the Rintzii Borneo. So we have a cutting here, and we have a cutting here, and it has grown a leaf with an upside down leaf, or it has grown a stem with an upside down leaf right here. But this stem looks promising. I don't really want to wrap it around the trellis and ruin its capabilities to produce leaves, so I will just leave it like that. And finally, we're back in the cabinet where we want to be. So this, if I can, it's grown through, it's grown through the shelves. So we have this Tequila Sunrise, and as you can see, it's on a tiny little trellis. Let's see the roots. The roots look delicate, so I'm not going to tug on them very hard. I'm going to be very soft with them. I feel some rot. You know, that's to be expected for a plant that's been in the same pot for a while. I am seeing some rot on the outside of the pot. We need to get this out of this pot. We need to re-trellis it, and we need to reroot it. I will probably reroot this in a chunky mix. We will see how that does. We will get this on a new trellis, a larger trellis. We will get this on a bamboo U-trellis, and we'll see how this does. So I'm going to go ahead and set this over here more towards the side. And then that gives us room to take out the Verticillata heartleaf splash. And this has great looking roots. I'm getting water all over. But if you can see the roots in the pot, they look great. It's kind of a short pot, but you can see a new leaf right there. It wasn't able to grow up at the top because the light was right there. So I'm hoping that's one thing that will be able to be fixed when we put this on the side here. This actually needs no work to it other than making sure that the stems that are up here are still living and chopping any ones that might not, like that just broke off. That's a dead stem. So, you know, we need to break that off. So other than that, everything else looks alive, looks good. Okay, I shut off the light. Let's see if that helps us see the plants a little better. And the first Hoyas that we're going to look at are the villosa Cao Bang. There's one stem in here. Feels like it might be rooted. I'm feeling the rest of them. They feel well rooted in. This one's got a pin on it. It doesn't feel very well rooted in. So I'm looking at it right now, and no, it has no roots. So let's put that one back in and try to root it some more. So these are cuttings from my main plant. The plant is actually on the shelf by my computer area, but these are the cuttings. We shall see how those do. Next is my Walliniana inner variegated. It feels dehydrated a bit right now. I don't see any new leaves starting on it. It feels loose. I don't see any roots in the cup, but that doesn't mean much. We'll just have to see how that works. See if that roots. I took it out of the pot it was in and put it in this, hoping that a airier mix would create a more hospitable condition for it to grow in. Because what was happening is for every leaf it would grow, it would lose a leaf. So that's why we only have 5 leaves here. The next plant is a Svetlana cutting, and we'll pull it out, and it's got what looks like a root right there and a root right there. So it doesn't really have anything to show for it. I'm putting it back in the pot. So it doesn't really have anything to show for rooting right now. So I'm going to keep this in the pot. Svetlanas are notoriously difficult for having troubles rooting. So I'm not too surprised by that. We will eventually get this to root. No worries. I have every faith in this that it will root. This might be a little too wet for it, so I might put it in something that's a little drier. So we'll see about that. That's the Svetlana. This is a cutting of my hanhiae that is up on the second shelf. And this one looks like it's got quite a big growth spurt going on. I'm looking in the pot and I do see roots right here in this side, right there. But even more than that, it's got a new stem right there, and it's got a new stem right there with, holy cow, look at those aerial roots. I mean, I don't know what those came from, but those are sure nice. This would make a really good plant for sale. I'm going to take some pictures of it and maybe post it for sale and see what happens. Now we're getting to the plants I'm kind of worried about. And the first one is the deykeae. These are all cuttings from my deykeae. I'm feeling them first. These feel dehydrated. These feel really dehydrated. I'm looking in the cup. I do not see roots anywhere. I'm looking at the stems. I am not seeing much right now. This leaf looks yellow. Is it dying? Looks like it. So we shall see what happens with this, but looks like right now this one is still trying to root. So we shall hopefully see some more action on this pretty soon. So this is the deykeae. This in the back with the cutting that's been removed is my finlaysonii. Sorry, I'm just trying to insert this back into the pot. Gotta put this down in the pot, then put everything. Okay, so here we go. So this is a very round leaf, as you can see. Hopefully see. I'll probably have to up the contrast in editing so you can see this. Unfortunately, these nodes look like maybe they have been spent. So there is 3 cuttings in a pot. So that will make someone a very nice finlaysonii when this roots in place. This last one I'm going to have to unwind carefully because it has attached itself in place. And what I need is clips to put this on its trellis. What this is these are my cuttings from my crassipetiolata. When the crassipetiolata crashed and burned and root rotted, I took all of these cuttings because the plant was enormous. So I took all of these cuttings that filled up a 6-inch pot and I put them all in here and let them grow. And now this is the plant. This will turn into a very enormous plant. I am going to put it on this. You can't see it, but I'm going to put it on this stand right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. I'm going to put a taller trellis on this. It'll just slide right in. And that way I can wind these around it and it'll have room to grow back here. And this way, this will turn into a plant that rivals or even beats the original. So the roots look really good. It's already got roots in coming out through the holes. It's got roots in the mix. It's got roots, not so much roots over here, but the other side you could see the roots. So I think this is going to look incredible. There's a nice new leaf right there. This is going to look incredible. As you can see, it's sprouting all over the place. And when this really starts taking off, it's going to really take off. So this is the crassipetiolata. Okay, there we are. So now we have space. I'm going to put the cuttings back here. The ones that are going to not really do anything for a while. So that will be these three that are just going to sit there. And then the hanhiae. There we go. And the Rintzii from Borneo. We have a medusa here that's growing very nicely. It's losing a couple of leaves at the top. I don't know if that's because it was near the top of the shelf. I am not really for sure why. I'm hoping that they grow in some more. So I'm going to put this at the shelf. No, I'm going to keep that in the front. And of course these glabra, we're going to put these in the back because as much as I like my globulosa, these are some ugly cuttings. And now we have more room, which is something I'm not used to saying. This one needs a trellis, but I need to do, hold on. I just spilled water on the, this one's pretty full of water, so we're going to put that right there with all of its leaves. It looks beautiful. Definitely needs a trellis. Needs a pot. Needs a real pot. That's what it needs. And we'll put this in the bottom. Put it in the hiding a little. And can we fit one more plant over here in the bottom? What would I like to put here that requires less light and a little bit less humidity than, say, the Detolf? I don't really want to put the elliptica Black Petiole on here because I don't want to hide it. I like to keep it up here on the next shelf. So what should I do? I will go ahead and put the medusa in the back here. All three stems are now positioned up through the shelf so they can grow. That way they're not being restricted any. These sad, pathetic Sigilatis will stay right there on the end. And now we have all of this room here to move Hoyas from the Milsbo to the Detolf. And I'm kind of, let me tilt you around here. I'm working on these shelves to see how many Hoyas I can fit on there. And it looks like 3. So it looks like I can fit maybe the merrillii on here. So that'll give me even more room in the shelves. I believe I'm going to move the merrillii. So let's go ahead and remove. This is the Svetlana. I'm just going to set her right there for now. This is what is left of my Collina IR26. This one still looks pretty sad, but the rest of the cuttings are starting to come in. So I will set this temporarily down there with those. This is my humidity gauge. It's really low humidity in here because the door's been open. So we'll pull this out. This is my merrillii. It's got a new growth tip. And I am going to temporarily set it right there. This is the temporary look of that shelf and that shelf. And then we have this opening and this opening in the Detolf. So now we shall go open up our Milsbo. And what is small enough to take out that we would want to keep? I'm thinking this, the finlaysonii. But to get this out, I'm not sure. I think these shelves are taller than that shelf. But that shelf, that plant takes up an enormous amount of space. There's a pistolepsis intertwined here. So I need to be real sure about what I'm doing before I take this out, because the pistolepsis has intertwined itself and I have to very delicately move all of these new leaves. Okay, we have some root loss. I did have to do a root mealy treatment on this plant, so there was some root loss. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go rinse this out. Let's go rinse this out. Okay, so let's go ahead and move these temporarily or permanently. I'm not sure yet. We may just put these back where they belong. Okay, let's fit this. Okay, and this does fit. This fits just fine. So we're going to go ahead and take it out, and we're going to leave it with the rest of the Hoyas that I'm going to repot later in the day. For now, I'm going to leave the Guinea Ghost and then these three Hoyas all right where they were. I'm going to close up this cabinet, get it humid again. Oh, I forgot to put back the Svetlana. It definitely would have noticed that. I'm just going to put it right here for now. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. We have this spot open right now in the Milsbo. We have this spot open in the Milsbo. And we have these openings in the Detolf. And then we have proposedly these Hoyas on these shelves. So that's what's going on for today. So tomorrow what we'll do is we will go ahead and take these Hoyas that we took out of the Milsbo and the Detolf. We will go ahead and repot them. I have a whole list of Hoyas to repot. We will do some re-trellising on some, and then we will do some rearranging. We will do some styling. I have two new stands that I got. I use them for our Christmas tree this year. And now that it's done, I have 2 stands left over. So I'm going to go ahead and see what we have, and we're going to go from there. So I will see you tomorrow when it's light out, and we will have a day of plant chores. So I'll see you then. Bye. For today's part of the video, I have a whole bunch of Hoyas that I need to do some type of maintenance to. Most I need to either repot or re-trellis. So what I'm going to do is I don't even know how many Hoyas I have next to me. I think I have about 10 Hoyas, and they're all over here. So what I thought I would do is do a continuation of yesterday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pot these Hoyas up, repot them, re-trellis them, and do a little, just a little talking, a little chit chat. And then after that, we will go ahead and put the Hoyas back in the cabinets, see what kind of space we have remaining, and then it's Hoya ordering time, which I don't think will be on a video because I wouldn't fill all the spaces all at once. But that will be the future plan. So let's go ahead and get started with the videos. I need to go ahead and tilt the camera down a little and get stuff situated around me. So I'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and resume the video right where we need to start. The top of my head is cut off, but I think that we can go ahead and see everything else from here. So sorry about the head being cut off, but we do what we can do. So the first Hoya, I'm just going to go ahead and grab the easiest Hoya, the first Hoya. And this is not a Hoya at all. This is the Dischidia acutifolia. I got this Dischidia, and what happened is, unfortunately, it had some root rot on it. So I saved the top cuttings of it and rooted it in water. And as you can see, it's grown several new leaves while it's been rooting. So I'm going to take it out of the water. I'm going to take a look at it. So this cutting right here has grown 2 very nice sized new leaves and some very nice roots. And this cutting has grown some very nice roots and 2 new leaves as well. So I'm going to pot it. Today I'm using a substrate. Today's substrate is more cocoa husk fiber and more tree fern fiber than I normally use. This is a less chunky, more airy mix than I normally use. I did not have the chunky perlite. I ordered chunky perlite and I was delivered regular perlite. So I had to go without that. I did have tree fern fiber, so I used tree fern fiber in this mix, more tree fern fiber than I would normally use. So we're going to see how that works out with these Hoyas. I did notice that some of the Hoyas did not like the chunkiness of the cocoa husk. They dried out a little too much, so I tried mixing this with a little more tree fern fiber in it to hopefully get more moisture on the roots and hopefully make it more soil-like. So we're going to try that. I don't know how it's going to work, but we shall see. But I love these acutifolia. They are so unique. I will try to see in post if I can lighten that up so you can see the beautiful veining on that Dischidia. It is so beautiful. So we're just gonna put our cuttings in here. Try not to disturb those new leaves because they are beautiful. And the stems are long and thin, so they are flopping everywhere. And I'm making a mess, but I have a potting mat, so that's exactly what that's for. And this is a chunky mix, so thankfully it will be a little easier to clean up. A little being the key word there. So I decided to switch my Hoyas to a more organic substrate after I noticed my Hoyas, and you'll see some here, after I noticed them kind of reaching a tipping point where they would get to a certain size and just kind of stop growing. And then I would notice that the roots would start kind of dissipating. They would get very soft, and they would kind of grow and mesh together and then just kind of soften up. They wouldn't rot. Rotted roots don't distribute moisture to the plant, and these roots would distribute water to the plant because the plant was still living and thriving to a point. But they weren't very good roots. They weren't real great roots. So we got plant number 1, and it's a little floppy. It's a little movable until it gets watered in. And there we are. That's the Dischidia acutifolia. And now I'm going to do something very sad, and that is I have to cut up my clemenciorum. The roots rotted, unfortunately. And now I have to cut it up. See, the whole thing just pulled right out. I have to cut it up and get started on the roots again, which is very sad. It bothers me greatly, but I can't let it, drag me down too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this soil and I'm going to put it right here. And boy, that is wet. Okay, that's very wet. Too wet. That's probably part of the problem, is I kept it too wet. So where am I going to cut this? This is one. I am debating on whether I should cut it right here and make this a cutting. I think I will. So we have one cutting right here. We have one cutting right here with these 2 leaves. We have one cutting right here, which has some sort of water damage on the back. We have one kind of a warped cutting right there. Now you'll notice I'm not keeping the stems on this. And the reason why is the stem is kind of, it has these nubs on it where things were trying to grow but didn't. And I don't appreciate a stem like that. To me, that screams mites. I did treat this plant. So I do believe the mites are gone. But And then this beautiful Hoya with this node, with this stem. So I'm getting rid of all of these nodes with all of these nubs where leaves could start, but they wouldn't. I don't think they ever will. I think that was part of this plant's problem. So what I'm going to do is these are going to get thrown away. So I'll put those out there. I'm going to use the same cup. Why not? I'm not going to use the same soil, but I'm going to put all of these in the same pot. So I'm going to put, and like I said, I'm going to use more tree fern fiber in this. So we'll see how this handles that. I may need to use strawberry forks, or as they call them, pinning forks, to hold down the cuttings. We'll see about that. We'll see how these go. So we'll just park them in here. Yeah, I do believe we'll need something to hold them down. So these just hold the plant down. I'll add, before I do that, I'll add substrate to the surface. How many Hoyas do you have to cut and start again? Is this something that you have to do? Is this something you do frequently, not frequently? Do you ever do this? You know, I'd like to hear your input as to your dealings with, and this root on this bottom stem I'm going to cut off because obviously it's not growing anything as of now. So we'll get that started. Is this just like a me thing that I have to start my Hoyas over again? I mean, it does kind of seem like, it's a rough process. It seems like I do it frequently. Am I impatient with my Hoyas? By the way, this is my clemenciorum. All the cuttings. It should be interesting to see what happens when these start growing. I will probably separate them and put them in individual pots so they can all grow on their own. But I mean, who needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clemenciorums? I mean, I do, but I guess I'll be able to sell some clemenciorums. This is the one. This cutting is the one that I love the most. This is the newest one. So let me get a better fork. These new forks I got aren't as good. They're, I like the cheaper plastic ones. They seem to grip in the soil better, or the substrate. See how that pins it down more? All right, so now we got the clemenciorum done. Let me gently set that one down. What shall we do next? We'll do the ones right next to me. This is my micro dwarf. It is in a little 1-inch pot that I think it's time to take out and put in something a little larger. I'm going to put it in a 2-inch little pot here. This is thankfully rooted in the same substrate that I am going to put it in. It's a little, it feels like very good tree fern fiber. I know this because I know Lauren, the person I bought it from. I'm not going to mess with this too much. I'm just kind of assessing the roots very quickly. I'm just gently pressing on the root ball just to kind of see what it's like. The roots are very thin, but they feel firm. So I'm not going to do too much. I'm just kind of assessing what it is. It looks like there's maybe one main stem. So I am going to put a little fiber in the bottom and just fill all around with my mix. So it will have a nice new pot to grow in, not too much larger. Oops, I just spilled this is why I use my hands, because I am a mess when it comes to using these. I make a mess all over the place when I use these. I don't know why, but I do. Now this is really growing long. These are bushy Hoyas. They just grow in a bush pattern. I'm just trying to get this all situated in. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting to put a little touch of my rooting hormone. This is Azos. I heard about this from a fellow Hoya grower. This is a bacteria that is similar to mycorrhizae, and it really kickstarts root growth. And you just put some in as you're potting up the Hoya, and then when you water it, oh no, I broke a leaf. And then when you water it, it waters into the roots, and then it helps the roots grow. So I will be using that on the rest of mine. I did add some to the acutifolia's water, so maybe that's why it grew such awesome roots. All right, so here we are. We have our Microdwarf NS 12-323. Let me put this back in. It's got its little bit of azos. It's got a larger pot now, so it can grow and bush even more. And I will put that over here. And now I will go ahead and do the Lima Silver. This really needs a trellis. I am going to examine the roots here. Because I'm concerned about the root ball. I'm definitely going to put some azos on this root ball. Now, one thing I want to show you is if you look on this root ball, you'll notice that there is a big piece of bark right here that I'm holding. And you'll see that the leaves, that the stem really holds on to this bark. And so I know this. And so what I did do, is I ordered some orchiata bark from, I ordered it off Amazon, but it was shipped to me from overseas. I don't know where yet because I haven't got the package yet. And it's for orchids, but I'm going to use it for Hoyas. I like to add orchiata to my mix, so that way there is something bark-like for my Hoya roots to attach into. Now what I did is I had this little trellis I made out of anodized craft wire. Husband's home, hold on. Okay, while I'm doing that, let me go ahead and get this crassipetiolata splash over here. Let's go ahead and put the cuttings on the trellis. All right, so that one's already on there. So my husband will be in a second. He has to get the trash. Oh, I know what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to put a taller trellis in this. Hey, sweetie. Okay, so I'm going to put this trellis in here, and I'm going to try and put it in the exact same spot as the other trellis, if I can find that. Oh, what do you know? I got it in here. Okay. So let's go ahead. This will be much nicer. Okay. All right, so here we are. We have this all wrapped up. And you notice I don't have quite all the stems wrapped up, but I have enough. So that will get those to grow on the trellis really nicely. So that is going to go to its spot right here. So now we'll have these two trellises that we'll put over to the side for our stuff. What is next? Let's go ahead and do this. This is the Hoya Gaeolus. And unfortunately, I do believe that I rotted the roots on this. So we shall take it out, put the perlite over here. I'm sorry, the pon over here. And it does have some roots, thank goodness. Oh, but the roots are terrible. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this pot, same pot, maybe not. Maybe I'm going to put it in this 2-inch pot. I think it will be better. And I'm going to put it in this soil mixture. I think it will just do better with that. You know, I'm putting a lot of faith in this mixture. I'm not really for sure why. I just believe that it will work. I know that other people have had large successes with it. I think I can adapt what people use for my home. And what I'm using, which was the pon, is clearly not working for this Hoya. I've had this Hoya for several months and it's not rooting. This Hoya should be rooted and growing by now. So I repotted this. I put some of the azos in there to help the roots grow. Hopefully that helps it. Thankfully the leaves are still nice and firm and thick. So the leaves haven't suffered at all through all of this, thankfully. So this is let me put the tag back in. This is the Ache Gao Lewis. This is my Wilbur Graves. As you can see, it is a Hoya that is doing quite well. It's in pon with nice, good roots. I'm not going to, I don't really want to change the pot in this. I really just want to put a trellis in this, one of these trellises. I'm not for sure if I can get the trellis in here. It looks like this is where the Hoya wants to turn. So I'm gonna see. If not, what I will do is I will just empty out enough of the pond so I can put the trellis in here. Okay, and we did it. We were able to put the trellis in the pond without disturbing the plant itself. So now I just need to go ahead and put it on the trellis, and then we'll be able to put it back in the cabinet where it belongs. Looks like we have 2 stems. One we can put on this side and one we can put on this side, which is a good arrangement for a trellis. So getting back to what I said about winter Hoya chores or winter plant chores. Do you have winter plant chores? I know some people, their plants stop growing, their Hoyas stop growing in the winter, and there are no plant chores to be done. Or they are of the philosophy that they do not want to do any type of interrupting their plants while they are hibernating, so to speak, while they are in stasis. And I know that there are people that are in very, very cold weather temperatures, and their Hoyas just don't grow in the winter, and that's understandable. I live in an environment where my Hoyas grow all year round. I fertilize all year round. I do chores all year round. It's just one of those things. My Hoyas actually don't have a rest period per se. So I'd be interested to know if your Hoyas have a rest period or if they grow all year round. Let's get that little. All right, here we go. So this is my Wilbur Graves, if I can get it in the camera. So I think that turned out really nice. It's a beautiful, beautiful Hoya. I got this as a cutting from my daughter. She gave me a cutting of hers. Her plant is clearly beautiful, has great genetics. These leaves have excellent splashing on them. I couldn't ask for a better Wilbur Graves. The splashing, I think, is incredible. I don't mind green in my Hoyas. I think it reminds me of what the plant is. So looks like the roots are fine. The plant's fine, and we shall go ahead and this is a dead stem, and there we go. That was a dead stem. So I will go ahead and put it back in the Detolf cabinet that is right here. Okay, I don't know how long we've been working with no sound, so I'm going to catch you up. This is the Crassipetiolata silver that I chopped up and I'm rerooting. I guess we're going to do this one since it won't let me do anything else. It's grabbing onto every other plant. This is my deykeae times chicken farm. I've been wanting this Hoya for quite a while, and I finally get it. And it's got, I don't know if that's mold or if that's just, I think that's just how the plant is. But look at this, it's got pink splashing on it, which is incredible. But this is in some substrate that I know is really old. I mean, I know it's really old. It is time for this to go. I don't know what it's in. It looks like it's in some sort of very soil. It's in some sort of soil. The roots look good, kinda. I gotta get all this dirt off though to put it in my soil, or my substrate, I should say. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just carefully working it off. Are these root mealies? These are root mealies. I don't know, are they? No, I think they're pond because they're crunchy. They're hard, so they're not root mealies. Okay, phew, I was getting a little nervous there because let me show you. Do you see all of those in there? Not good. That scared the crap out of me, but thankfully they're not root mealies, they're just perlite. I watched a video from a plant YouTuber, and she was talking about her plant goals for 2025 and her plant goals for 2024. And I thought that was a very interesting idea. You know, I didn't really have any, I don't really set plant goals per se. So I thought, what could I have for plant goals? You know, I mean, what could my plant goals be besides, you know, not buying plants? You know, that's kind of like everybody's plant goal is, you know, not buying plants, and I'm pretty good at that. I mean, except for the last part of the year, I went about 6 months between buying Hoyas. All right, I think I got most of the dirt off the roots. I'm not going to wash them off or anything like that, because that will just create more moisture disaster. These roots look good. They're thin, but they're strong. They're not pulling off when I tug at them gently. They're, you know, when I tug at them gently, they're not, I mean, look, the stem is bending and they're not disconnecting. So let's go ahead and pot this, whoops, in a, let's see, should we go in a 2-inch pot or should we, see, you know, I'm kind of thinking about putting it in this pot. It doesn't have any drainage though. So I'm I'm thinking if I water it carefully, it'll be fine. But the trick is should I water it carefully? So I'm going to go ahead and use this pot. And let's put some azos at the base. Oop, uh-oh, hold on. Dirt was about ready to fall on the floor. Okay, and now we need a trellis. So shall I put this trellis on? Or should I put a bamboo trellis on? This Hoya is in the back of my cabinet. So I think I'm going to put this trellis in so that it can still stay in the back of my cabinet. And I'm going to cut this part off because this doesn't look very good. This looks like nodes. Okay. You know, it doesn't look the best, but I don't think I'll have room for a large bamboo trellis on the back shelf in the back of my Milsbo, which is, you know, where this lives. You know, so we do what we can with what we have. Okay. So there we go. We have deykeae times chicken farm. And we have that. So that is all said and done now. This stem I will cut off. So we have that. That was kind of a sleeper in there. So now we have that done. And my foot is asleep from the ankle down. And I have no place to put these. This is my Black Magic. And it has grown some nice leaves. It's grown some wonky leaves. I would like to put this on a bamboo trellis and put it in a more noticeable position. I'm tugging on the roots gently. I'm getting some rot, which is a little unfortunate, but not too much. Let me pull on it a little more. Look, feels like this part over here is more. That part's definitely dead. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut off those roots because the roots above them seem to be, well, that one's not ready. The roots above them seem to be firm. The roots coming out of the sides of the pot, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Let's go ahead and unpot this and see what we get. I hate to do that, but you know, this is the time while we have everything out. This looks like it's rooted in straight tree fern fiber. So I'm going to push a section of There we go. Oh, looks like good roots. Maybe we should up pot this. So this looks like it's in straight tree fern fiber and perlite. It's very compact. I'm not gonna mess with the roots at all. Because the roots are good. I am going to put it in a 4-inch pot, take out the root or the, okay, so let's put a handful of that at the bottom. That's too much of a handful. Okay, there we go. And let's just get tree fern fiber around the outside. So, do you have plant goals for the year? And if so, what are your plant goals? I haven't put too much thought into what my plant goals could be. You know, I would like to do I know one of my goals would be for every plant I bring into my collection, one needs to go. I'm kind of at that point with my plants that I just am about ready to be out of room. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, people run out of room. Ain't no shame in that. But, you know, when you run out of room, you have to, you know, you have to think of solutions for that. So, my running out of room means running out of room in my cabinets. Because I have such low humidity in my home, for the plants, for my Hoyas to grow the best, I need humidity. I need my plants to be in humidity. So I am putting some plants out, which gives me more room in my cabinets. That's what I'm doing right now. So I am meeting one of my goals. So, you know, that's good. So this is part of my goal process. And when I took this plant out of the cabinet, I had to break it out. It actually had grown into the seam of the top weld of my cabinet. So that was interesting. I had to literally yank it out. There aren't too many leaves on this at the top. Most of the leaves are at the base, which I guess is a good thing. You know, gives it more room to grow. Okay, so here, oh, forgot one. Did I break that? Oh, I broke it. Oh no. I broke the stem with the leaf on it. Oh shoot. Well, now I have an Black Magic propagation. Shoot. That really blows. I didn't want that. But now I will propagate this and someone will have, I can sell this to someone. I am making a mess all over here. It's going to take me an hour to clean up after this. Okay, so what I do when I have a stem like this is I take the growth tip and I wrap it around and I put a clip on it just to kind of clip it out of the way. So I clip it like that. So the growth tip is still there, but it's out of the way. And then this is the rest of my AH Black Magic. So I think it looks pretty good. It's time to put it in the light again to get it darker. This is my Cadata Gold, missing two baby leaves that I unfortunately ripped off. Thankfully there are new leaves right here that I did not. So let's see if I can be more gentle. What I'm doing is I need to put this on some sort of trellis. This is rooted in tree fern fiber. It seems to be happy in tree fern fiber, so I'm not going to disturb it. I'm just going to put a trellis on it. I'm going to put one of these little hoop trellises. I just got to kind of get the shape going first. You know, you got to kind of work it with your hands. These are hand-shaped trellises, so you know, you don't want these too big because these are small. These are small pots. And now let's go ahead and attach it. My camera went dead right as I was getting ready to finish up that Hoya. So I put it away. Already, so I can't show you. I don't know where it went, but anyway, we're moving on and forward. The next Hoya I have is my new Guinea Ghost, and I am concerned about it. I am checking it very gently. It may have just a tiny bit of root rot, but not really a bunch. The main thing I'm concerned about is the fact that ever since I took it out of the cabinet, it has not grown at all. In fact, it's died. It has died off some. So, in fact, I'm cutting off this dead piece right here, right now. I hooked it onto this double ladder trellis. I don't like it. We're going to take this off. Let's see what we're going to do. There is a wonky new leaf right there. The trellis is very well in there. This is a 5-inch pot, but this is really the size of a 4-inch pot. I think it probably needs an up pot to something larger. I don't know if this is going to be large enough. But let's see. We're just going to go for it and see what we get. So let's squeeze the size of the pot. Let's see. I see old roots. I see damaged roots. This is in straight tree fern fiber and perlite. I am squeezing on the tree fern fiber. I can reuse this tree fern fiber. Oh, I see a lot of dead roots from the last repot. I'm going to cut those off. That's probably why this plant is not growing at all. It has old roots and then new roots formed beside it. This is not a good way to grow a Hoya, because I will show you the pond roots that have died inside this tree fern fiber, and that's why you don't want to use roots that aren't that good, because it will stall the Hoya from growing big. Even though it may grow new roots on top of the old roots, the root system just is not good. It's like when you start on a shoddy note, you can never go back and get good results from that, because you're starting with crap. It's like starting if you buy a $500 car off Craigslist, you're not going to turn it into a Formula One car. You know, even if you put all the good parts into it, it's still not going to turn into a Formula One car. Okay, so getting these off. I definitely was not expecting this. So the 4-inch pot will definitely be small enough or large enough, because we're just going to put it in another mixture similar to what it's in now. We can use what it's in now because we're cutting off a lot of these roots. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as I get all of this tree fern fiber off of here. And it's coming off fairly fast. You know, tree fern fiber is an airy mixture, which is probably what enabled this to grow roots on top of shoddy roots. Let's see if I can show you what's going on here while I'm doing this. You know, there's hardly any roots coming off in here, which is good. But like I said, you know, bad roots don't make good roots. So this is what I'm talking about. See these roots right here? See how compact they are? See how when I just gently tug, they come off? See how that happens? These are pond roots that that frazzled and fried, and I never removed them before I put this Hoya into the tree fern fiber. I never gave this Hoya a chance to have an odds for success. And now this Hoya is growing in tree fern fiber, which is a really great substrate. But, you know, I mean, if the roots are rotted, then they're not going to uptake water. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try and cut off the crap and save the good, if possible. I don't even know if that is possible. I don't know if I have to reroot this. I mean, look at all those roots down in the bottom. They're all fried. I don't know how much this is going to upset the plant by me doing this. Maybe a lot. I don't often encounter a Hoya that I've let the roots go. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking when I just stuck this in perlite or tree fern fiber and said just go and see what happens. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. I don't know if I was experimenting or I don't know what I was doing. Hopefully I'm getting rid of these crappy roots and only leaving the good roots. So, I mean, have you ever had a situation like this happen? I mean, I don't know. I mean, am I the only one that ever does this kind of stuff? Am I casting out into the void here? Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. My pruning shears are terrible. I have good ones, but I don't know where they are. Okay, I don't know why I was cutting over the tree fern fiber either, because I'm gonna reuse this tree fern fiber. That was dumb. Okay, so now we have, this is not the greatest. I mean, but this is what I'm left with. I don't know if it's the greatest. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could be doing bad things, but on the up note, I am putting it back in the Milsbo. So it will get its humidity back. And I'm putting some azos in here. So it is getting some bacteria. Is there any questions that you would like to ask me? I was kind of thinking about doing a Q&A. You know, I didn't know if you might have any, you know, Hoya questions, just any questions at all. Just shoot and I'll answer. I think I'll put that in my, I'll make a post on it on my channel and see if, you know, anyone has any questions they'd like to ask, you know, anything I can answer, you know, just let me know. So I'm putting this on a bamboo trellis. I don't really know if this is what it wants. We're gonna put it in here and see. You know, it's kind of a bushy plant, so wipe my hands off because I'm gonna get dirt all over the plant. Okay, so we have these that go up, so we have okay. All right, so there we go. Here's our new Guinea Ghost, re-trellised, repotted, hopefully more happy. It's gonna go back in the Milsbo, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the merrillii. Oh boy, we got some roots that are rotted, but we got one really thick, good root in there. It's growing a new stem. It's got too much water in it, first of all. Let's go ahead and take this one out and see what it looks like. Okay, we'll put these trellises aside. Oh, I lost a leaf there. Okay, let's oh, this is rooted in place. Boy, this is Here we go. Okay, this is in a chunky mix. Okay, the roots look real good. Roots look real good. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I'm going to take the pins out that were used. I'm going to go right back in the soil. I'm going to put some dry soil in there. One came out. Oh, they all came out. Okay. All right, let's restart. Oh, and one even grew a root back in. Okay. Okay, let's just push this down into the dirt. Okay. And this one barely has a root, but it's got a thick root. That is not the same plant. That is a hanhiae. This is a merrillii. So that didn't belong in there anyway. Can't believe I had the wrong plant in there. Nice. I mean, I hate unpotting a plant when I don't need to. But I guess to get a hanhiae out of there, I guess you need to do that. I don't know why I had a hanhiae cutting in there. Weird. This is the merrillii. I repotted it. I unpotted it to take a look at the roots. Thankfully I got this hanhiae cutting out of the pot because it didn't belong there. So that was one good thing that happened. The unfortunate thing is it's in a pot in the cabinet right now, so I don't have access to it. But I guess I will make this a cutting and see if anyone wants to buy it. We'll see. But this is the merrillii. It's got dirt all over it, so probably think it's mold or something. But we'll see how this grows outside the cabinet. I'm a little hesitant now to take it outside the cabinet. It doesn't look very stable, so I'm thinking I'm gonna leave it inside the cabinet now. And take out the hanhiae instead. I'm thinking about it, so we'll see what happens with that. I wanted to take a look at the Verticillata Heartleaf Splash, only the trellised part. I'm not going to unpot the plant. I just want to take a look at the root, or take a look at the stems and see, are any of the stems dead? Like, see, this part of the stem is dead. I want to see how far down that stem goes. See, this stem is dead, but how far dead is it? It's dead down to here. So I'll just cut that off. This stem is dead. How far dead is it? It's dead to here. That stem's fine. That stem dead. That stem's alive. That stem's good. That stem's good. That stem's starting to grow. Okay. All right, it looks like that may be it for this plant. let me go ahead and put the, oh, here's one more. No, that's living. Okay. So we shall go ahead and put these back on the trellis, and we will leave this plant alone because it is growing and it is happy. So that's all we're going to do for this Verticillata Heartleaf Splash. I'm going to clean off the pot as much as I can with my dirty hands. So this is going to go outside. This is going to go right on this pot right here. Oh, I grabbed a leaf. It's going to go right there. I may put it on an elevated, whoa. I may put it on an elevated item. I don't know. And then I'll probably want a small plant down there, which is why I think the merrillii is too big for it. But what plant would I put down here instead? So we'll see. But let's go ahead and get back to our focus, and that is repotting this. So I will put this, let's see, should I put this in a little 2-inch pot? It's kind of big for a 2-inch pot. But I don't think I have any more 4-inch pots. No, I don't. So I guess it's going in a 2-inch pot. Let's go ahead and dip this in the myco. So were any of you viewers of my old channel, Heron Fam? You know, the only thing that changed is I added the number 1 to my channel name. You know, did you watch the old one? Did you migrate to my new channel? You know, let me know. Let me know how many of you are followers from there. And there is my hanhiae cutting. Let me know how many of you migrated from over there. I am starting all over again. I had about 1,200 followers on my other channel, and I had to start over. What a disaster. It's been hard starting all over again, but the videos are still the same. My videos are still the same. You know, it's just the new channel. But if you ever know anybody that doesn't know my channel changed, you know, please let them know. So this is the last Hoya. Like I said, I saved the finlaysonii, the round form, to last. What this is this had root mealies. So I killed the root mealies. I applied Pure Crop 1 as a root drench and a root soak to the plant. Unfortunately, I forgot to change the soil. Well, I didn't forget. I was lazy, and then I forgot to change the soil after I left it in the root soaking. So, of course, what happened is some of the roots died. Because this isn't oil, it does suffocate the pests. So it does also suffocate the roots sometimes. I knew this going into it with my eyes wide open, and unfortunately I did not do as I knew to do. So we had some root rot, and we have still the remains of the carcasses of the roots, the root mealies in my pot still. So I need to get rid of them. Start with fresh substrate. I don't need to cut the roots because the roots have been, any roots that are still alive have been, the root mealies have been killed. So I don't need to start the pot over again. So that's a good thing. I just need to get rid of the soil or the tree fern fiber. So that way the root mealies the carcasses of the root mealies are all gone. Now, I don't mind about pulling the roots out of the bottom of the pot because they were kind of dead. So now we will, this is pretty densely packed. It's very rooted. See if I can bring this up. So I gotta get all this off, you know, just get all that residue of the root mealies off. Looks like I still have the root mealies. I find the pure crop one is very effective for root mealies. If you water it, if you have semi-hydro, if you water the plant with it and then dump it out after like an hour or two, and then that normally kills the root mealies, I found. The carcasses don't go away though. I tried flushing it out, but unfortunately these roots are so solid that the carcasses just weren't able to flush out. And I'm trying not to disturb the roots. I'm really just trying to get that tree fern fiber loosened off. And if I leave some carcasses of some root mealies, I'm not really going to worry too much because, like I said, I know they're all dead. Man, there are nasty roots at the center of this plant. Like the New Guinea Ghost. I mean, they are bad. So what am I gonna do? I mean, what should I do? These roots look awesome though. These are stringy roots. Not all of them. There are some really good roots here, but there are some really stringy roots. And really stringy roots. Like worse than the merrillii. Let me show you. There are the roots from the front, and there are the roots from the back. You can see, if you can see how stringy they are right there. I may have either killed this plant or helped this plant. I don't know yet for sure. It's too early to tell. These are the roots that the plant is left with. And these are all the roots I cut off the plant. This big pile of crap. Oh no, I forgot a Crassipetiolata silver. How'd that get there? That's weird. That's really weird. Okay, that was weird. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and put the plant back in the pot with new substrate. I will sprinkle some azos on the roots. And then let's get her filled up and hope and pray that I didn't cause my plant irreparable harm. Hopefully I didn't cause irreparable harm. Hopefully. All right, let's put the trellis in. All right, now let's trellis this up, and then we are done for our projects for today. Can you believe it? Wow! Here we go. There is my finlaysonii. It is all re-trellised and the roots have been redone. We will need to give it a couple of weeks to see how it responds. So that is it in a nutshell, and my battery's going dead, so I will go ahead and say goodbye for today. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 plants today. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next section. Bye. Hey there, good morning. It's Wednesday, and what I'm doing is something I didn't do yesterday because I just couldn't do it after that monster repot episode. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to water in all of these Hoyas. Unfortunately, I did not put the wick in my finlaysonii after I repotted yesterday. So I'm actually going to get out the potting mat, and I'm going to do that really fast on camera. So let's go ahead and just water these in real fast. I just use tap water, nothing special. I have these small 4-inch saucers that I'm going to set them in. That way, when I water them, they will accumulate a little bit of water at the bottom. It will kind of wick up naturally. So that's what I do for these. And it's been doing good for me so far. So fingers crossed. This one does not have a hole, so I'm just going to have to water this and tip it out. And leave just a tiny little bit of water in there. These two are going in the cutting bin, so I don't need a saucer for those. Let me go ahead and take these into the living room. Then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to repot this real fast. We're going to put the wick in real fast. And then we're going to go in the living room and we're going to put all of these in their place, in their new places. And we're going to see what the cabinets are going to look like and just how much space we have. This is a little better view. Pardon my pans, but I have a pan rack hanging from the ceiling. What I'm going to go ahead and do is, as you see, I did not put in the the wick. So I'm going to try and make this as painless as possible on the plant. I'm literally going to lift straight up on the trellis, let the tree fern fiber go where it may, put the wick in, and just stuff everything back. So let's go. We're lifting it out, setting it down. I'll put in the wick as fast as I can. Can't believe I did this. Getting the wick is kind of a 101 type thing. So now I will go ahead and let's see how much we need. Let's see, is that about right? It's going to be hard to put the dirt back in here with the trellis in place, but I think we can get it done. Let's put the dirt in the back first. See if we can get this to work itself out. Of course, we need more soil now than we needed before. It seems like. Maybe, hopefully not. Let's see if we can, I think we'll be able to make this work if I can make less of a mess as I'm putting the soil or the substrate in the pot. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work real good, I think. It's not full quite to the pot. It's not quite full to the angle of the pot top, but then again, the plant starts below the top of the pot, so that will work itself out just fine. I think that's pretty good. It's still a little floppy on me, the trellis, but the trellis was kind of floppy to begin with. So I don't think I did anything different in that regard. Maybe push some soil down and around. Okay, hopefully that's gonna do. I think I might have some soil in the, I keep calling it soil. There's no soil in there. It is, like I said yesterday, it's tree fern fiber, cocoa husk, chips, and a tiny little bit of chunky perlite. Not as much as I'd want because I didn't get sent chunky perlite. I got sent regular perlite. So this is the finlaysonii with a wick in it now. So that is all I'm going to do in the kitchen. I'm going to clean this up, put it up, and I'll meet you back in the living room to go ahead and put these plants all up in their new spots. Okay, now I'm in front of my Detolf. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fill in the gaps in here. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the finlaysonii and another plant down here. And then I'm going to kind of see if there's anything else I need to take out or reorganize in this cabinet. So I'm going to kind of fast forward the video so you can kind of see what I'm doing. If I have anything I want to add, I'll go ahead and pause the video or slow down the video so I can go ahead and add that. But seeing as I know this video is getting long, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of move through this process. But before I do that, I do want to go ahead and explain my decision-making process. This Detolf has an average humidity of about 75 to 90+% humidity. So these are the Hoyas that I put in here that require the most humidity that are my favorites. This Detolf right behind me is what I call the high humidity Detolf. This averages anywhere from 50 to 75%. There is a Detolf right here out of camera reach. That's what I call my low humidity Detolf. And that one really doesn't go above 50%. That one's generally in the 30 to 50% range. So that is just enough above room humidity that it adds a little benefit to the Hoyas, but not too much. So plants definitely grow in there better than outside, but it's a negligible benefit sometimes with certain Hoyas. Let's put the new Guinea Ghost in there. That's a perfect spot for it. That looks perfect. Yay, I did something good. Look at that. Now the new Guinea Ghost is back in the cabinet. Now we can put the rubeta in here. It's tilting this way, so let's put it here. Passiflora, it's a little guy. Neocaldonica, you can hide him under there. And then we have room for one more little plant in here. And I'm gonna leave it with the Dischidia acutifolia since it enjoys it so much in here. All right, first shelf done. Now it's on to the second shelf. I don't want to put the merrillii in there. Let me see if it will fit in my Milsbo. Let's turn you around. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. It does still fit in there where it was. So that's going to be where it stays. I'll see if I can move it over to here. I mean, I can leave it there too. I don't want it to be knocked over by the GPS 7240, especially if it gets new leaves. But we can work with it and see how it goes. So now we're back here with this cabinet, and now we're on the second shelf. So we just have one space back here. It's for a little bit of a larger plant. I checked, there's one plant in the kitchen that is going down here on these shelves, and that is the Tequila Sunrise. So I have room for two plants. One is the Tequila Sunrise and one is for a smaller plant. So the smaller plant could be the Irina, but it's too long. So I need another smaller plant. I got this low humidity Detolf so packed that I don't think I could get any Hoyas out of it without a significant rearranging. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Hischkiliana and the finlaysonii out here with the Irina, and then let the Irina trail down. And then for this one, I'm going to put this in back. This towards the front. And then the Tequila Sunrise in the bottom corner. So I think that's what I'm going to do with these two stands. We will be filling in the Milsbo because I do have plants from the Milsbo in here, like this Walliniana cloudy sky, that will not be taken out of the Milsbo. The Cadata gold leaf, I think I'm going to put on the back, maybe. No, I can't put that back there. It's too big. So I will put it right here. let's maybe put the Crassipetiolata silver. It's now got a pedestal. I'm gonna put the merrillii in here if I can, because this requires less humidity. That needs to go in the back. Far back as I can go is there. And then we'll put the Walliniana right there. And we'll straighten out this Engleriana so it's not all tangled. Got that one done. So now let's take this guy and put him in the back. Put the Svetlana back here where we can see her. Put the Polyneura silver over here, like in the corner. We can put that in here. Put this micro dwarf in here, though I think it will probably grow better in there. So we'll see about the micro dwarf. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the layout now. I got some new Hoyas in here. You can see the new Guinea Ghost back there. The Repot has been moved. The finlaysonii in the back. And then a couple of other Hoyas. The Crassipetiole silver, or the Crassipetiole splash, is now back there. Some of these Hoyas have been moved around. You'll now notice my Wilbur Graves is over there. The the Polyneura silver has been moved down. The Lima silver and the micro dwarf are now in this cabinet on this shelf, and everything down on the bottom is just the same. As for the Milsbo, we have left quite a bit of space. We have a big space right here. We have 4 Hoyas on the back wall, one which you can't see. That is the Walliniana cloudy sky back there. It's hidden by the Candata. But we have this space here for at least 2 Hoyas, if not 3. The second shelf is a little packed. It's got a couple new Hoyas back here. The Clemenciorum cuttings are right there to get a lot of bright light to help them go. And all the rest of the Hoyas are in here growing. They're starting to grow new leaves. Back here, this doesn't really change much except the Candata gold is now here. The Ache Gao Louise is here. That is a little different. And then everything on the bottom remains the same. Over here on the low humidity Detolf, the only thing that changed is if I can move this, I put the merrillii in the back here. That was where the Wilbur Graves was, but I think this needs lower humidity now. So I'm going to try it out in here and see. And what did we do for, let me shut these cabinets to get the humidity going back up in here. And what did I do for these shelves? Well, what I did was I moved the Hushkiliana inner variegated out of the Milsbo cabinet. I moved the finlaysonii out of the Milsbo cabinet. This is the Irina. I moved out of the high humidity Detolf cabinet. This is the cuttings from my crassipetiolata splash. I moved that out of the high humidity Detolf. And then this is the Verticillata heartleaf splash. I also moved out of the high humidity Detolf. And this extra space right here, that will be for the Tequila Sunrise as soon as I go ahead and re-trellis it. Before I went for the week, I wanted to show you about the growth spurt my latifolia outer variegated had. It suddenly grew this monster leaf right here with the huge variegation. It grew this leaf with the huge variegation. It grew this leaf with a huge variegation, and it grew this leaf with a huge variegation. Oh, I'm sorry, and one more. It grew this leaf with a huge variegation. But this one really got me because it is larger than my hand. Oh, and there's another one on top that is almost completely, if I can show it to you, it is almost 3/4 variegated. So, and these are the status of my shelves so far. Don't look at that mame. But as you can see, the majority of these are Hoyas now. There are even Hoyas up top. So these are the shelves in my computer area. Just a little peek at what they are doing going on. Okay, so now all of my Hoyas are back in their new places. And I think that that was one heavy-duty chore all done. I know that some people, when they do their week of plant chores, they do like 15 different tasks. I did one broken up into 3 days. You know, that's what you have to do when, you know, you have health issues, and you just, well, you just have to break things up. You know, am I the only person who does this, or am I in the minority here, and you guys can, you know, just go and go and go? I hope that this breakdown of one chore over 3 days was suitable for you to watch. I hope you enjoyed watching it. No matter how long it took me, hopefully it was interesting for you to watch. Please let me know. Let me know what kinds of things you would like to watch on the channel if this is not something that's right up your alley. So I just wanted to say thank you. If you did make it to the end of the video, I do really appreciate it. Let me know if you did. That's about it for today and for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you in the comment section, if not before next week. Have a great day. Bye.